Found out the last stanza of the Fireman's Prayer, a prayer on the lips of some of more than 15,000 firefighters, police, friends, and family who today were at the memorial for 6 Worcester firefighters.
Most cities have one hero. The city of Worcester was blessed with 6. God bless you, Jerry and Paul, Jay and Joe, and their loved ones.
Those 6 firefighters had entered a blazing building thinking others were inside in need of rescuing, but as fate would have it, they were the ones ending up needing the help. And now the men will be remembered as heroes. Our team coverage of this emotional salute to the sacrifice of these men will continue at 6 o'clock. We'll have a live report from Jeff Cole, who is in Worcester today, and we'll also hear the thoughts of Connecticut firefighters who are just returning from Worcester.
Other news around America tonight, a heinous sorrow fills the streets of Worcester as thousands march today to mourn 6 firefighters killed trying to save others. A tribute to 6 fallen heroes. Hi everybody. Worcester and the world came together today to say goodbye to the men who gave their lives. Our team coverage begins tonight with Logan Burns. Logan.
Joanne, it was a very emotional day this afternoon at the Worcester Centrum. Friends, family, and firefighters from as far away as Hawaii and Australia attended. NBC 30 covered the memorial live, and although it is impossible to sense the true emotional impact without actually being there, we can bring you some of the sights and sounds and feelings of the somber day. The bagpipe procession leading thousands of firefighters and others into the Centrum. Onlookers showing their support, some placing their hands over their hearts, others displaying signs, the church bells chiming in the distance. Once inside, words of comfort from the president.
As you look around this vast hall and know that there are thousands and thousands more standing outside and other places, we hope that by our collective presence, we will speak louder than words in saying that your tragedy is ours, your men are ours, our whole country honors them and you.
The wives and children of the fallen firefighters looking on, remembering their fathers, their husbands, their friends. The mayor of Worcester, Raymond Mariano.
A hero isn't someone who hits home runs or scores touchdowns in front of thousands of cheering fans. A hero is an average citizen who does something extraordinary to help someone else in need. A hero is a firefighter who runs into a burning building, never once thinking of himself.
The 6 heroes are Paul Brotherton, James Lyons, Timmy Jackson, Jeremiah Lucy, Joseph McGurrick, and Lieutenant Thomas Spencer. And in all, those firefighters left behind 5 wives and 17 children. Joanne.
Thanks, Logan. Hundreds of Connecticut firefighters were among the thousands united in sadness at the Centrum today. Lynn Carson traveled with some of them as they made their way to the service. She joins us live from Worcester tonight with that part of the story. Lynn.
Joanne, I spent a lot of time with some Connecticut firefighters today. Now, they talked to me about a bond that they say unites fire departments across the country. It is that same bond that has united firefighters from around the world that came here to pay their respects.
It's a brotherhood, so I'm going there to honor 6 gentlemen who I've never met, but I feel are brothers of mine.
That brotherhood motivated thousands of men and women to make the journey from Connecticut to Worcester. For Bobby Joe Kimball, there was simply no other place to be.
So my heart's with these families that they're not going to have their father or their son within that Christmas time this year or ever again. It's going to be a pretty rough day for everybody.
Firefighters in this bus will talk with the department that lost 6 of its men, see the faces of their families, and deal with the reality that their next alarm may be their last. At 17 and training with the South Windsor Fire Department, Nathan Rodenberg already knows the code that gets many firefighters through their dangerous day.
So you don't really think about it too much, or you'll never do anything, but it's in the back of your mind.
Connecticut firefighters tell me they rarely think or talk about the risk of their profession. But as they marched in a procession honoring 6 fallen heroes,
But it was just phenomenal to see the miles of firefighters.
their thoughts turned to the truths of the job.
Makes us just take a step back and realize how valuable and how precious life is.
Those sentiments have been expressed to me by many firefighters. It is estimated that more than 20,000 firefighters were here today. I'm Lynn Carson reporting live, NBC 30 Connecticut News. Joanne?
All right, thank you, Lynn. All 500 of Worcester's firefighters were given the day off to attend today's memorial.
Yeah, but some felt that the best tribute would be to continue to search the burned-out wreckage of that building for the bodies. Our live team coverage continues now with Bob Wilson and that part of the story. Bob.
Logan, just a couple of minutes ago, the jackhammers stopped. The cranes behind me actually stopped. Firefighters came over to an area, and they were digging in the rubble with shovels, pointing. They brought in police dogs to sniff. There was like a pause over the crowd as everybody was watching to see what was going to happen next. The firefighters did not take off their hat or salute the ground. They say they did not find another fallen comrade. They're still looking for 4 more people in that wreckage. Firefighters dig knee-deep in ash, faces smudged with charcoal mixed with tears. They continue to sift through the rubble looking for their brothers who remain buried in the building. Captain Rule Angelo flew in from Seattle. He went right to the burned-out warehouse to give his support because he's been there and had to sift through the rubble himself. He lost 4 firefighters in exactly the same circumstances.
It's like holy ground, and the crews will do it themselves. They're not going to let anybody else do it. They'll get to that point, and when it's time to remove the fallen firefighters, their crew, their shift will be the ones that will do that.
Some Worcester firefighters haven't left the scene since day 1. They didn't even attend the memorial service. But a lone bagpiper played among the grinding noise of the construction and the sounds of the search. Afterwards, thousands of fellow firefighters stopped by along with Vice President Al Gore to the still smoking brick monster to pay their respects.
They went in there and they didn't come back, and it's a sad thing. It really hurts you inside.
After the memorial service, more than 1,000 firefighters came by the scene here to pay respect to 4 of their brothers that are still trapped beneath the rubble. Among them were Brantford firefighters who know the pain firsthand. They lost one of their own 3 years ago on Thanksgiving Day.
We lost one of our firefighters, Eddie Ramos, and here it's like 6 times worse, and we wanted to show as much respect as possible.
Hartford sent up 200 firefighters. They stood in silence, staring at the building, mourning the loss, and also counting their blessings.
We had a collapse of a burning building. It broke both of his legs. It almost killed him along with 3 other guys, but we were lucky enough to squeak through. This time here, nobody knows.
A lot of people shaking their head wondering why, but they do know one thing is the cause of the fire was started by 2 homeless people. Police say that were inside. They were arguing over a candle, and someone knocked the candle over. The building started on fire. Those 2 homeless people went running out of the building, and they were the one that firefighters went in to search for. I'm Bob Wilson, live in Worcester for NBC 30 Connecticut News. Back to you, Logan.
Okay, Bob, thanks. And fellow firefighters have set up a fund for the families of the fallen friends. If you'd like to help, you can do so by sending donations to the Firefighters Fund, care of the Flagship Bank, 120 Front Street, Worcester, Massachusetts, 10608. And we will have more on today's memorial tonight on 11 at 11.
In other
line of duty, at least 15,000 firefighters, some from as far away as Australia, joined a solemn procession to the Worcester Centrum, led by the mournful wail of bagpipes and sirens. The families of the fallen firefighters were presented with medals and flags and some words of comfort from President Clinton.
Your tragedy is ours. Your men are ours. Our whole country honors them and you.
Most cities have one hero. The city of Worcester was blessed with 6. God bless you, Jerry and Paul, Jay and Joe, and their loved ones.
The 500 members of the Worcester Fire Department were given the day off to attend the service, but some chose to return to the site of the tragic fire out of respect for the 4 firefighters still missing in the rubble. As many as 1,000 firefighters from Connecticut attended the memorial service today, and many arrived by train. A 12-car Amtrak train left New Haven and stopped to pick up more firefighters in Hartford on the somber journey to Worcester. They came to remember 6 men they never met, but whose loss they feel very deeply.
It's different, I guess, in the fire service. We're all one big family, and we all feel like, you know, brothers and sisters.
This could happen to anywhere, to any one of us, so we want to make sure that the families know that their fathers and their husbands and won't be forgotten.
We're there to help their fallen brothers, you know, and they were calling for them, so, you know, I would have done the same thing.
One firefighter when I was on the job.
Also attending from Connecticut, Hartford Mayor Mike Peters, a former firefighter himself, and Lieutenant Governor Jody Rell, whose husband is a volunteer firefighter in Brookfield. At the scene of the fire, searchers continue to comb through the debris, still looking for the bodies of the 4 men inside. Rescuers have vowed not to leave the site until they come home with their brothers. Now, in honor of the men who died, the Boston Stock Exchange suspended business for a minute of silence today. Schools and businesses were closed as well.
At the MDC.